Hello, this is Tanya Radford Hill. This is my response to Workshop 3, Dropbox 3A, questions, Part 1, questions uh, A, question 1 and 2. So I watched the video, God Grew Tired of Us, and wow, very emotional. I could probably say that watching this probably changed my life. Some of the things that stand out to me as I watch the brutality of the war, with the order to kill the young boys, took me back to this Moses and the story of Job and just the amount of suffering. It just was so pain striking, and it's one thing to hear of these stories on a quick news bleak, but to actually see and hear these stories from people who experienced it, it's very moving. Some of the things that stand out for me was the resilience of the human spirit. I mean, to suffer the things that they suffered, and they just to hear the young man speak of the Dinka man. He was proud, and his spirit was not crushed, and he was determined. He was determined to still succeed, and that was impressive. Um, I must say that when they referred to America as not a friendly place, I felt convicted. Um, I don't know very many refugees or immigrants for that matter, but I've certainly come into contact with people who probably had similar experiences. And I greet them on the street, but haven't went the extra mile to make them feel welcome. And so that was like stepping on toes, and I plan to do a better job with that. Um, just kind of looking in the ugly face of racism when the store owner called the police and asked that the Lost Boys not be allowed to come into his store in groups. I feel like that was a bit of racism. And also, um, I was a little tickled when he was asking for somebody to answer questions because he didn't understand what our methods of celebrating Christmas, like what's this Christmas tree about, and they showed how Christmas was celebrated back in Sudan, and I thought that was something good, and it's an opportunity for us to have dialogue. The desire for unity and the loneliness that these young men experienced, there's things that we could do about that. Just the whole journey, how they went from um, traveling from country to country on foot, starving. His job as a young man was to bury bodies. Wow, that's deep. To reaching this country, feeling lost here, and then making it a home for themselves through employment, education, and coming together in meetings to educate us about the struggle and seek support from the government. Um, the one thing that caught my eye also was um, the struggle of keeping their youth, having the youth to maintain their culture and not to lose their identity while here. I was so moved when his mother was allowed to come to the country, and I have a son, and wow, if I was away from my son for 17 years, I may respond quite similar to the way that she did. She danced and sang throughout the airport carrying a cross. That was just amazing, and it just reminded me that what when we keep the faith, what what we lose, God returns to us, and more so, just so similar to the story of Job with this young man. So very impressed with the video. Now, for the question one, has the church addressed immigration more as a political topic or as an area for human need? To what extent has the church's involvement been appropriate? Well, I would say that largely, um, I would say the church has responded both as a political topic and as human need. And there's evidence of church participation on a national level. But honestly, I don't see a lot of that in the local church. I don't hear that message being preached across the pulpits. I believe the national organizations um, do have involvement, but we could definitely do a better job. But it is appropriate for the churches to let the political leaders know where we stand and why we would like to have immigration reform and what supports should be in place. Um, so, also for question two, how might North American church benefit from friendship and partnership with immigrants? Well, the number one benefit I believe is that in doing so, we are obeying the word of God, and we are treating others as we would want to be treated. And so, when we do that, He blesses us, and so that will be the number one benefit. Additionally, for partnership, I believe that we could support immigration reform laws, support the individuals who work to make reform happen. Additional partnership would be financial support to organizations assisting immigrants. As noticed in the video, wow, the journey of assimilation and adapting to a new country is intense. The gentleman didn't even know how to turn on a light switch, and just traveling through our community. Um, they need support, and so we could provide financial support to help in these areas. We could befriend them and train a volunteer force to support immigrants once they're here. Um, we can also, a benefit would be in training these individuals and partnering with them so that they can help plant churches here and abroad, and just sharing their talents and utilizing them for the glory of God. I done a little research, and I found a report by the Partners for a New American Economy, and learned of some financial benefits that cities gain when they welcome immigrants. And I really enjoyed these. There are three of them. One is um, new Americans or immigrants increase housing value. Often they move into low income neighborhoods that may have been abandoned and have a lot of abandoned homes, and move into these homes, and then turn the property value around because the homes are now occupied. They draw manufacturing jobs. Statistics show that communities that have a lot of immigrants in their area, manufacturers will move and build factories, and these immigrant workers can work in these factories and gain actually good incomes, which go to stabilize the economy. Um, Also, they contribute to population growth, and this is important for areas who are experiencing the decrease in population. So when the immigrants move in, they get the manufacturing jobs, and they increase the housing value. So those are some really tangible benefits that the North American church and the North American community benefits when uh, having friendships and partnerships with immigrants. Thank you so much.